Hello, everyone. My name is Alfonso Quijano. I'm the CTO at Lean Staffing Solutions, a nearshore provider out of Colombia that provides dedicated teams in logistics for US-based companies. So basically like opening up your own satellite office out of Colombia. I'm an electronic engineer. I'm Colombian myself from Barranquilla. And I think if there's one thing that I share with the rest of my teammates is that obsession with actually providing the best service possible. And we've actually been very fortunate to have worked with over 70 pretty amazing US-based companies. And I feel the urge to just build incredible technology for all of them, for their employees to work with. So think about that for a second. That's very important, actually. This is a mutual relationship. And if you've ever worked with a nearshoring company before, you know that it's in your best interest to make sure that we have a stable infrastructure, solid technology, and the best procedures to operate your business. So that's what it's all about today, actually. It's about giving you guys a glimpse of how it is we do that at LSS. So let's get started with the presentation. So I'm going to walk you guys today through a sort of a mouthful. It's a fully integrated solution that's divided into three parts: an employee tracking system, an authentication service, and a data analytics tool to better manage your employees within our LSS office. We call that workforce analytics. So to start off, I'm going to walk you guys through a very typical day at Lean Staffing. We're growing very fast, so to keep up with our whole recruiting needs, we've built our very own AI-powered chatbot that we actually like to call Mary. So right now, I really want to work at Lean Staffing, so I'm going to see if Mary can help me do that. I'll go and ask her some basic questions like, for example, how do I apply? And it's going to walk me through some basic questions like, for example, my name, last name. Let's go ahead and use another one. Email, so I can get regular updates on my status. So I'll put in my email here. English level, so I'll say I'm advanced. And it's detected I'm a C1, so that's great. Now it's asking me if I'm my studies, so I'll go ahead and tell her I'm a bachelor. And that's it. I have a fully submitted application that will go into our databases. So I'll go ahead and say submit. But it doesn't end there. Mary actually is very smart, so she knows a lot about the LSS world. So I can go ahead and ask her things like, for example, how are salaries? Okay, all right, she knows about salaries as well. Let's go ahead and thank her for all the hard work. But this is not something that we keep to ourselves. This is actually something that we're actually giving our customers so they can ask questions about the LSS world. But let's take you guys to the actual good stuff. I'm going to fast forward you guys a couple of days, and now I'm going to be an HR manager. And I'm going to open up the employee tracking platform. So what you're seeing here, specifically the map, is a 3D layout of one of our offices powered by NFC authentication modules that are distributed within the office. We call them LSS pods. These pods are the nerve endings of our entire infrastructure, and they're capable of doing some amazing stuff like face recognition, emotion recognition, and employee tracking and registration through blockchain. But to actually start with this process, I'm going to go ahead and place what we call the authentication band inside of the LSS pod. This will actually trigger what we call the hiring process. So going over to the hiring tab over here, I can go ahead and search for specific names like that are stored in the database, and this part is very important. Go ahead and search for Alfonso. And click hire. What's going on now is very important because we want to provide the most transparent employees, the most quality employees in the transparent way possible. And to do that, we've partnered up with local universities in Colombia and are extracting information based on their previous performance records, academic performance, and job experiences from the blockchain using proof of existence. And we use that data to build it with LSS data to build general profiles, which is what you're seeing here. So things like English level, overall rating, soft skills, and we make that even, we enhance that with LSS building blocks, which is what you're seeing on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and make myself a track and trace specialist. I have some options already filled out for me, like the technologies I'm going to use. I can go ahead and say what office access I'm going to have, whether I have access to the server rooms and stuff. And I can say what stage I'm going to be in. And from that point on, I can go ahead and synchronize that data back into our bracelet or NFC chip, and that will actually take me into the office space where I can get live notifications on the status of my employees. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this blinking icon over here. Click it, and redirect you guys to the actual profile that I've just created, where you could see the overall data that's pulled from the chat, from the blockchain, and using the building blocks. But it doesn't stop there. We have some analytics that will give you greater capabilities to basically enhance the performance of this employee, ranging from tardiness levels, happiness levels. As you can see on the top, our emotion recognition software is able to detect whether an employee has some sort of anxiety throughout a period of time or happiness, and try to drive productivity through those KPIs. But going back to the dashboard, which basically shows one of the offices and the activity that's going on right now, like AFK status, whether they're away from their keyboard, whether they're active. You can also see live notifications on the right-hand side, which will give you access to things like, for example, access being denied to certain parts of the office, and so on and so forth. So this all is very great, but we compound that with analytics, so things that you can use to further drive the productivity of your employees through business intelligence. But I ran out of time, so I would love to tell you more about this. The whole idea to show you this is to improve the way your nearshoring experience is with us, and to let you know a little more about what we're doing with technology. So I invite you to come to our booth and ask any questions that you want, and thank you very much for listening.